Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Prashadane Nirvase Sasunyavadi Askya Chaji Shatarane Namo Mahabandanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Trisena Maha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanitaya Cha Jagaritaya Krishna Govindaya Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. My name is Mahashakti Das. I was initiated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada 1971, and I got second initiation 1972. And I'm making this video to testify to Krishna consciousness and what it's done for me, why it's important for everyone to practice. Some of the esoteric realizations that I've had in Krishna consciousness, and hopefully some of you will see it by the grace of Lord Krishna and appreciate Krishna consciousness a little more. So when I first began my journey in this life, I was brought up in a religious family, but when I was a teenager, I began to expand my base of knowledge, which included Buddhism, which was very popular when I was younger, Zen Buddhism, or just plain Zen, which I became involved in because I liked the idea of meditation. I met the Hare Krishna devotees about 1969, 1970 at a yoga ashram I was staying in. I was practicing meditation and hatha yoga, met the devotees and joined the movement. And for the first couple of years that I was involved in Krishna consciousness, I was very attracted, but didn't understand what I was doing. Gradually, things began to be revealed to me. I got help from the Vaishnava community, the devotees, from Srila Prabhupada, and Lord Krishna himself. So there is a definite learning curve here. And what's important, I think, to realize is that what we're doing is so new. It is so new to the planet Earth, to all of us who are endeavoring for understanding God. The terminology, the different points that Rupa Goswami brings up in Nectar Devotion are all new. Who has ever heard before of Bhava and Prem and these different types of Raganuga Bhakti? So Rupa Goswami, as a direct disciple of Lord Chaitanya, has created this process. Vaidhi Bhakti, this sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, which never existed before. There's Vaishnavism has existed for a long period of time, but not Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So when Srila Prabhupada came to America in 1965, he was teaching us something that was never been taught before. And not only was he teaching us, he was teaching non-Indians, people with no prior background. So I think Prabhupada felt that we were teachable. He saw, and I think he can understand, that even though we are the lowest, and when he came to America, we were drug-addicted hippies. I think Prabhupada was able to see that if they can just chant, they will become Krishna conscious. That vision is incredible. To think that low-born, ordinary hippies who were just involved in drugs, alcohol, sex, free love. I mean, Prabhupada came to America when hippies were abundant. We all had long hair. I did. All we were interested in is music, sex, drugs. That's it. And love. And here comes Srila Prabhupada giving something that is so pure, so high, so amazing. It's the fifth dimension. It's the highest principles of religion to the lowest hippies. So Prabhupada's vision is incredible. No one else was able to do what Prabhupada did. And it's very important to take note of that. And Prabhupada comes and in his unique way, humble yet determined way, he starts presenting to us these amazing principles of Krishna consciousness, worshiping of the deity, chanting our 16 rounds, going on Harinam every day for a long period of time, publishing his books, doing the artwork, cooking, eating prasadam, following the regulative principles, shaving our head. I don't have my head shaved right now. All these things that we did, Prabhupada introduced us. Do you know that Prabhupada actually taught us? He even taught us how to pass stool correctly, because we didn't know. I mean, everything. He patiently trained us in every aspect of life. And in addition to that, he was constantly traveling, constantly transcribing, or constantly dictating his books, writing letters to all of the disciples who wrote him, and was so active. I think he only slept a few hours a night. Prabhupada was filled with the energy of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. So anyone who follows in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada and takes up Krishna consciousness, he's going to be in for a huge surprise. It will just simply be his good fortune. It is your good fortune, as is mine, that somehow or other we have caught this whale by the tail. Don't know how it happened. It's obviously because Krishna is all attractive and all wonderful and all beautiful and all merciful. There's just no other answer, because none of us can really understand what this is about until we're in it and doing it. What it is from the onset, you cannot really determine. You can hear it. We know, we've heard Krishna's God. We've heard about the leelas. What is bhava? I mean, when I first came to Krishna consciousness, I was reading Nectar Devotion and couldn't understand a word of it. I still couldn't put it down, but I couldn't understand it. So what I did do is I took notes and I tried to commit to memory these different new phrases. So I would encourage you to do the same, because this is a subject matter that's difficult. It's like a new language. So take it in chunks and write notes and make notes and try to memorize certain areas and just become familiar as much as you can, because it will help you later on. It will all come together for you. And the reason for that is because this is an absolute transcendental practice that we're doing. It means that from the beginning to the end, it's all the same. It's all one. It's all 100% pure. It's like getting into a Tesla and going 100 miles an hour in 1 second. That's what Krishna consciousness is. It's When you go into the temple and you see the deities and you do your kirtans and bhajans and everything else, that's what they're doing in the spiritual world. That's what they're doing. Everything we're doing is Vrindavan, specifically Vrindavan, not Vaikuntha, not Mathura, not Dwarka. This is Vrindavan, and with a what's the word I'm not looking for? Not accent, but with a focus on Gopi Bhav. There's no question that Lord Chaitanya wants us to taste Gopi Bhav. He wants us to understand that highest mood, that particular taste. So that is no question that Krishna consciousness, the chanting of Hare Krishna, which is Radha Krishna, is meant for us to taste. And esoterically or speaking, or ideologically speaking, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. What does actually that mean? Well, he is the Supreme Lord Krishna. There's no question about that. He's revealed himself to these different associates and Vaishnavas of his time. He's Krishna, but his mood is Radharani, meaning he's so expert, he wants to experience why is Radharani enjoying me so much? What is it that makes her who she is? What is it that it's within me that makes her do this? And the only way he could know this is by switching roles. He wants to be on the receiving end, on the giving end, which is what Radharani is doing. She's giving. And he wants to experience her mind, her emotions. And that's Mahabhav. So he comes as Lord Chaitanya. And as you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you get a vivid description of Lord Chaitanya from moment to moment to moment. From this area in Orissa to Cape Comorin to Rangakshetra to Rameshwaram, everywhere he goes, you're with him and you're experiencing what he's experiencing. And it is the deepest experience you will ever have. You are with the Lord, seeing him through the eyes of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And what you will experience in time, what I mean to say is, in the beginning, when I first read Chaitanya Charitamrita, I was not prepared for it. I was still a jnani. I was still interested in moksha, liberation. So I had no familiarity yet with bhakti and devotion. So I needed time to mature. But once the Zen Buddhism and this idea of monism really thoroughly left me, then, and even then I wasn't prepared. I still needed to mature, more chanting. I still needed to come to the platform where I could chant with some devotion, and realize that's the key. Having some devotion in the process is the key. It's not that there's any change in the process, because I already mentioned it's absolute. It is 100% pure. It is the attitude that we have that changes. And so when the attitude matures, Vyavasayatmika buddhi means when our intelligence starts to become really focused on what we're doing, and the mood within us, we're starting to give up the false ego and the false pretense and the fact that we think I'm the master in charge of my own life. And we start to develop some humility. These are the breaking down of the false ego that we go through the practice of Krishna consciousness. We do arrive at some point at what I've always called not the reception point, the inflection point. So in physics, the inflection point of water would be the boiling point. So you put water on a fire on a stove and you heated up the pot of water, and at some point when it reaches 212 degrees, it comes to the boiling point. I think it's 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And so in the same with our Krishna consciousness, when we have done enough bhakti and enough chanting, we come to this inflection point in our life where the amount of devotion we've done somehow or other is superseding or greater than the amount of karma that we have left in us. And at that point, it's like a clearing. A clearing comes about. It's like we've been walking through a dense forest for a long period of time, and all of a sudden we come to the clearing. And at the clearing, we see a field. We see a field, we see the mountains, we see the ocean, we see beyond the trees. And that's the clearing stage that we come to. And at that clearing stage, Krishna consciousness becomes really relishable because our mind is clear. We're no longer interested in karma or moksha or gyan. Those ideas have cleared from us. We're relatively renounced. We're relatively regulated in our bodily habits. And let me just double check this. Okay. And we are now able to really focus on what we are doing. And that's a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. It may take us, some of us 5 years, some of us 50 years. It don't know how long it will take each one of us. It just depends. But the important point is you'll get there. Absolutely. All of us get to that point. And then when the clearing stage comes, then there's more rapid advancement that takes place. Krishna consciousness becomes understandable. Krishna starts to work within us and our intelligence to help us to understand actually what we're doing. And as that realization takes place, that's not ordinary. That's more like divine intelligence. That's when our intelligence is working in Krishna consciousness. And thank God it works. That's through the intelligence Krishna reveals himself. He's revealing himself then on every page. Srila Prabhupada has told us Krishna's on every page of the books we read. But we don't get to realize that until later on. And it's true. And coming back to my point, when we come to this higher stage of Krishna consciousness, the chanting becomes relishable. And the reading of the books becomes exquisite. And there is a thirst that develops. And all this is taking place within us. It is the energy of the internal potency that's beginning to work through the clear mind and the clear intelligence of the devotee that is enlivening us. It's enlivening us. And this enlivening grows, grows, grows. It magnifies. It gets bigger and like a mushroom. It just grows. So you become thirsty. And when you read the books of the acharyas, you see the thirst that these devotees have in the practice of their Krishna consciousness. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you read Nectar Devotion. There is this intense desire and longing to become closer and closer with Krishna, to know more and more. It's an exhilaration. And it's been explained that this is because Krishna is ever growing in his qualities. Therefore, the devotee also must grow to know Krishna. We're growing along with Krishna's growing. So this becomes like a dance. Krishna moves and we move in tandem. The Krishna grows and we grow in tandem. And the thoughts that will come into your mind, the thoughts that will come into your intelligence will literally blow your mind. There is no better subject matter on the planet than Krishna leela, Krishna book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, any of the books and literature that is written by Krishna or about Krishna is totally relishable by us. Incredible depth, sweetness, awareness into the leelas that Krishna's performing. Can you imagine actually understanding? I mean, not fully, because we're always on the edge, it seems. We're always learning more, but even to be on the edge. Whereas before, I wasn't near that. I was far away, right? But when you are actually experiencing Krishna consciousness, you feel like you're finally on the edge of understanding. Can you imagine the thoughts in your mind when you begin to get revelation of Radha and Krishna and their leela and Lord Chaitanya's moods? There is nothing to compare. You cannot compare liberation. Now, on this planet, and even higher planets, anyone who's into yoga, meditation, even religious development, when I say liberation, everyone jumps. Where is it? Where is it? Everyone wants to be liberated. That's all people know. I'm tired of the material world. I want liberation, liberation. And here I am testifying that I don't think of liberation ever. And I am happier than ever. Was I thinking of liberation in the past? Yes. When I was a Zen Buddhist and a Zen, interested in yoga and Zen, I was wanting to become liberated. I was so tired of the material world. It's all I thought about. And here I am, some 50 years later, enjoying Krishna consciousness so much. I never think of liberation because it's a step down. And I never ask Lord Krishna for liberation because it's a joke. There's no reason to. It's meaningless. It's actually hell. I don't want to be liberated because that would mean I can't think of Lord Krishna. And that would be hell for a Vaishnava. I have no concern about my next life. I have no concern about this life. I have no concern about death, because what I'm doing now as a intensified devotee is what I will be doing in the future. I don't even think of the future. I only think of increasing my participation in Krishna consciousness. That's the only thing a devotee really wants to do. He's satisfied. This is all amazing. I never, ever, ever could have imagined this level of consciousness, ever. I never could have had this if it wasn't for my spiritual master coming to America during the craziest time, during the Vietnam War, during hippieism and drugs. I don't know how it happened. And Srila Prabhupada's down in the Bowery among drunks. And here he is starting the most amazing movement. And I can understand now that this is the summum bonum of life, and without which there is hopelessness. This is hope for humanity. This is the best thing we can do. As I said earlier, when you practice Krishna consciousness, it's like getting in a Tesla, going 100 miles an hour from the first moment you put your foot on the gas. So Krishna consciousness is being spread around the world. People are being given a chance to chant We thank George Harrison for all he's done. We thank Allen Ginsberg for all he's done. And we thank these great personalities for all they've done to help spread Krishna consciousness and to assist Srila Prabhupada. We thank the Vaishnava community. This Krishna consciousness is so valuable. It's so amazing. When you read Chaitanya Charitamrita in the right frame of mind, at the right moment in your life, you will get the aha moment that this Krishna consciousness, Lord Chaitanya, specifically the recent avatar, most recent avatar incarnation of Krishna, this movement of Gaur-Nitai will absolutely spread around the world and lift up the entire world over the next 10,000 years. You know this is a fact because it's undeniable, it's unstoppable, it's the only thing that makes sense. It defeats impersonalism, which is nonsense and offensive. It defeats voidism, which is nonsense and offensive. It defeats fruitive activity, which is idiotic nonsense. It defeats jnana, which is all about moksha, which is nonsense. This is the only thing that makes sense. The only thing. It defeats Hinduism, which is demigod worship, which is nonsense. Krishna consciousness is the light of life. It's so rare, but so important. It's like, and I'm going to make this analogy, and this is as direct an analogy as I can think of. When you are walking outside on a cloudy day, and it is cloudy out, don't feel happy. There's clouds everywhere. The sky is gray. There is no sun. That is not natural. That is unnatural. Therefore, you feel unhappy. Okay? That is the current situation of the material world. The sky is cloudy overhead. The entire sky is cloudy. It is depressing. Mayavadiism does not bring out the sun. Voidism does not bring out the sun. Fruitive activity does not bring out the sun. The sun remains hidden until, by some good fortune, the light of the Bhagavad, Sri Krishna, through his pure representatives, comes. And by some good fortune, the movement of Sri Chaitanya is here alive, and you've been given a book or a sweet ball, or you've seen the deity and you've heard the chanting. At that moment in time, at that moment, as you are looking at the book, as you are seeing Lord Krishna, as you are tasting some prasadam, as you are seeing a Vaishnava, at that moment, the sun comes out. For the first time in your life, the sun is shining. Every word that you hear from a Vaishnava that glorifies Krishna and this philosophy, the sun remains shining. If you go into the temple and see the beautifully dressed deities of Gaur-Nitai, Radha and Krishna, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, for you, the sun is shining. If you hear the chanting of Hare Krishna, the sun is shining. If you move your lips and you chant Hare Krishna, the clouds disperse and the sun remains shining. Can you imagine the feeling? You're outside and the sun is not out. You're depressed. Finally, the sun breaks through and the clouds disperse. Gone. and you look up again and you go, I can't believe it. There's not one cloud in the sky. It's blue and the sun is shining. It's warm out and I feel fantastic. That's natural. That's our natural situation, to be in contact with Krishna, because the sun is our natural condition to be in contact with the sun. So Lord Chaitanya is giving this Hare Krishna movement to the world. We've been all in so much darkness for so long. Religionists, scientists, doctors, people that think they're intelligent, everyone is in a cloudy day. Everyone. There is no sunshine. People of different religions and faiths, they're not seeing God. They're praying for God, but they're not seeing God. It's so important for people to become exposed to Krishna consciousness. We're only third generation from Srila Prabhupada. It's going to take time and more devotees and more boiling the sweet rice, as Prabhupada would say, to produce great speakers, great preachers, great devotees, more devotees that have a greater effect upon the world. But it will happen as we're speaking now. The advancement that people make in chanting and following Srila Prabhupada, his specific rules and regulations. If you want to have potency, you've got to follow Prabhupada. If you follow Prabhupada, you will have potency, and not just, wishy-washy, watered down potency. You will become as hot as an iron rod in a fire. You'll get all the potency. And this is what's amazing about Krishna consciousness. It works. It truly works. What we strive for is transparency to deliver to the second, third, fourth, and many more generations. Transparency. Don't change what Prabhupada has taught. Always strive to follow Prabhupada's footsteps. Learn from him. Read his books. Follow the process, and you will achieve. You'll absolutely achieve. The internal potency of Lord Krishna will come into you. It will clear everything up for you. You will see things as they are, and you will be totally happy, totally satisfied. Material desires will disappear. Material desires never make anyone happy or self-satisfied. They're cheating. They cheat us. It's Maya's cheating us. Krishna does not cheat us. He'll cheat us by stealing our mind in the right way. You want to be cheated by Krishna. That's the whole thing. Gaudiya Vaishnavas love to be cheated by Krishna. That is the beautiful thing about our leela and our understanding of leela, which no one else understands. Not even the Sri Vaishnava tradition, where they're worshiping to go to Vaikuntha, they do not understand the leela of Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is even greater than Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan has 60 qualities, more than any other deity, but Krishna has 64. And those 4 other qualities relate to the leela of the Lord. Only Lord Krishna has these leelas, no other deity. Only Lord Krishna has Parakriya Ras in Vrindavan with the gopis. In Dwarka, it is Sakhya, married. But in Vrindavan, it's Parakriya. He transcends his own dharma with the gopis, which is only appreciable by fully transcendental, transcendent living beings. Only the purest devotees fall in love with Krishna's activities, with the gopis, with the cowherd boys. How he transcends ordinary dharmic principles to engage like this is so delightful to the hearts of his deepest and most wonderful associates. There's no limit to the depth that you can go as a soul, a Vaishnav soul in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Once you get to that clearing stage at the end of the forest and you start seeing the ocean, the mountains, the land, the meadows, the land clear with no more obstruction from the forest, there's no limit to how deep you can go in Krishna consciousness. No limit to how deep. The attachments to the body, family, and other attachments, even eating, sleeping, all of these things related to the body become incidental. They become second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand. They become less important. And what becomes important is your own practice, your own sadhana, the depth of your Krishna consciousness. And you don't need anyone to tell you how deep you are becoming. That's another beautiful thing about Krishna consciousness. When you've achieved something, it's yours. No one's taking it away. When you have achieved a level of Krishna consciousness, it's yours. You own it. You will have it. It's no longer something, it's part of your property. It is your Krishna consciousness. It's your property. And it is so beautiful. And you want to strive for this. So whatever happens in life, whatever curveball comes, so-called thing to knock you off the path, to make your life difficult, whether it's adidaivic, adiatmic, adibhautic, whatever comes, stick with the process. Keep on chanting. Keep on chanting, because chanting is your best friend. It's your best friend. It's your best friend. Krishna is no different. Nama, Rupa, Dham, he's no different than the holy name and his form are the same. The leela, they're all on the same platform. So much beneficence and help is coming from the internal potency. And we don't see that when we're embedded in the modes. It's hard to have that faith. What's beyond? It's hard. I get it. I've been through it. I know it. That's why I'm doing this video, is to encourage. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up. At some point, you're going to own your bhakti. You're going to own it. Right now, you're renting it, and you're going to own it. It's going to be in your heart, and you're going to own your devotion. You can't do better than that. We may not have a lot of money. We may have very little. You know, I was thinking just today, I'm reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I'm thinking to myself how Lord Chaitanya, as a sannyasi, was going through India in the mood that he was looking for, the mood he was going perhaps barefoot, as a mendicant, chanting, keeping Krishna in his heart, bathing in the rivers. Not that we can artificially emulate that, but I think that that is the type of mood that we really need to have as advancing spirit souls. We should give up materialism, give up the quest for a better material life, and accept and embrace this renounced way of living. Earth, Bhumi, Braja Bhumi, Bharat Bhumi here is really good for yoga and meditation. It's good for tapasya. It's not really good for enjoying our senses. If you want, I'm going to end my discussion with this point. If you want to enjoy your senses, you should still practice Krishna consciousness. Because for the following reason, if you're a new devotee and you're practicing, and you should leave your body in an untimely manner, you will still have the opportunity to go to the higher planets and enjoy celestial life as they're doing in the celestial planets, like Lord Indra, for a long period of time. And you'll be able to have a beautiful body and enjoy the beautiful gardens. There's no stress. You don't have to worry about a job. You'll live stress-free. The people there are gorgeous. The air is filled with perfume scents, and you can have a wonderful sex life and enjoy your senses. So, and that's practicing Krishna consciousness. That's for someone who's not completed Krishna consciousness. Whether you prematurely die or you leave the movement because maybe you haven't finished, or maybe you're just not able to do much. So you're still in the new stage, right? The Kanishta stage. You'll still go to the higher planets. And so therefore, there's no reason not to practice Krishna consciousness. If, however, you have understood the value of what you're being given here, such value. Sanatana Goswami, when he was presented with the touchstone that can turn everything into gold, he tossed it into the garbage. It's less valuable than what we have. So if we can embrace the value of what we have, then when we leave our body, the worst case scenario, this is the worst case scenario, you'll take birth in the family of great Vaishnavas. Immediately you'll come out and you will be given so much glory by your mother, by your father. You'll see the deity immediately. You'll be given prasadam immediately. You'll be bathed with special oils. Mantras will be said. Brahmins will come to your home. You will be given royal treatment because of your birth in a Vaishnava family. And right away, you'll take to Krishna consciousness where you left off from the previous life. It'll come to you like a duck to water. You'll just embrace it and your life will be pure and you will be completely joyful. And next life, back to home, back to God. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you'll take birth in Gokul. You take birth in Gokul because your devotion is strong. You'll see Srila Prabhupada in his spiritual form, and he, out of his kindness and purity, will bring us to see Krishna for the first time outside of ourselves. We'll see Krishna. Prabhupada said, I will be the one that puts your hand in the hand of Lord Krishna. That's taking birth in Gokul, as Prabhupada mentions in Krishna book. Therefore, there's no reason for anyone not to practice Krishna consciousness. This is part of our message, whether you are interested akama, sarva kamava, moksha kama, udaradi, tivrena, bhakti yogena, yajeta, purusham param. Highest thing to do, whether you are interested in sense gratification, moksha, or bhakti, do Krishna consciousness, you'll achieve everything. This is our message. This is the message Srila Prabhupada is giving everyone. He is giving his life. He gave his life. He gave so much right from the core of his heart. He gave, he gave, he gave. And that's one of the things about being Krishna conscious. You want to give, give, give. Krishna consciousness is about giving, because you have received so much by the grace of Lord Krishna. All you want to do is give. You become a vessel for giving. You become humble. You become transparent. You become honest. Your character changes. You want to give. The simple things in life make more sense to you than ever. Offering your obeisances is meaningful because you could do it from the core of your heart. Seeing the deities, offering your pranams, seeing a Vaishnava, glorifying a Vaishnava. So all of these things become meaningful beyond anything else. Nothing can replace the quality of life of being a simple, devoted soul to Lord Krishna in the Krishna consciousness movement. Even demigods are desiring to take birth in the movement. This is a very, very powerful thing we're doing. So we'll conclude with that. And I definitely plan on making more videos because I feel enlivened by the grace of Lord Krishna. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this planet for. I'm a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I want to do what I can to get people enlivened, whether they're devotee or non-devotee. I hope that they'll take advantage of Krishna consciousness movement and see the value for yourself. And if you're already a devotee and you're practicing, I hope I can encourage and enliven you through my videos. And I hope you will become enlivened to make videos. I hope you will feel this transcendental potency and desire to make videos or do whatever you can do to spread Krishna consciousness. It's a wonderful thing. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol.